Have a super over. Oh, yes, sir! You bet your roll, you Aryaan!
From Sachin Tendulkar to Virat Kohli.
As a captain and as a player, I wouldn't want to keep being part of such games, but Punjab Kings is not for the light-hearted.
If you could create a career that doesn't currently exist, what would it be?
Singer.
That exists, brother.
Gets it back with a point. It's going to run away for four and it'll be it. Kolkata Knight Riders are the champions.
All right. We are back.
Dude, welcome to me.
Welcome to you. You survived Tech Week. Double Tech Week. It was double technicals for a week.
And it was taxing.
It was. But it wasn't terrifying.
I was gonna say that. Dang it.
You tariffed.
You tariffed.
Welcome back to the Bolts Podcast. My name is Nick Cates. My pronouns are he and him.
Welcome back to the Bulls Podcast. My name is Aryaan Ori. And my pronouns are also he, him, his. Because I'm comprehensive with it. Yeah. Not
That's
like
good.
my co-host.
I know. Being sloppy with the extra pronouns.
Slopsky potatoes.
I have a really exciting technological announcement to make for our listener base. In the couple of weeks since we podcasted, we made a massive technological breakthrough, which means that we are now in possession of a new power.
We are.
And that power,
And if I say anything out of line or dumb,
why? We have the power of instant Sunny G.
Stupid.
beautiful. That's what you stay tuned for.
Exactly.
We're only getting better. We're only getting bolder, and we're only getting bigger.
And, sometimes we really, give it to the other team. And sometimes, it's almost like we're playing for the other team. And in those times, you just got to hit it with a...
We should not be going in that dressing room. We should be going in the other dressing room.
Right.
You see? So, more from Sunny G as we go.
Oh, yeah. Special guest today. And for the rest of our lives.
And forever. Especially when Shohei comes on.
Sometimes I'll be cooking, and I'll burn myself, and I'll be like,
Stupid!
Stupid!
It's not your natural game.
I'm playing for the oil.
We
All right, we got so much to talk about.
got a lot of matches to talk about. Let's go through some of these. We're going to do, I think, some of the teams that we're not personally fans of a little bit quickly. But we want to give you some comprehensive coverage of each of these matches. So,
In the IPL, that is.
In the IPL.
Because we ain't covering no PSL.
And we're also
Although
not
I did
covering
see-
the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
We will cover a little bit of the PSL this week because there's a guy from the PSL who's about to head to the IPL who I want to talk about.
Yeah, do that. But I will say there's this thing that I saw about PSL before we get into the IPL where the batter was about to bat, like taking strike. He was literally, the bowler was running in, he was about to say, and the stadium lights went off. Did you see this? And so he got so scared.
Womp, womp, womp.
You gotta put that on the
I gotta
tape for
put that
sure.
on the soundboard. I didn't have time to put that on the soundboard before this episode, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, tune in next week and you'll see it.
And you'll hear it, yeah.
But it was so funny because he scampered out of the way, and the ball, I think, was bowled, and it was like it's like 150-mile projectile like coming at you in pitch black darkness. Damn, you got
and those pitches in Pakistan are fast too.
yeah, exactly. They're
like-
just flat. They're straight up flat.
Yeah.
So yeah, poor guy. Anyway,
Damn.
I don't know who was batting, but it looked really funny.
That's a rough sitch. That might explain some of the bad form that future Punjab King Mitch Owen has been experiencing in the PSL. But to the IPL. First match since we last podcasted was RCB.
B versus RR. I said it first.
Nailed it. Yeah, this was a fairly comprehensive victory for RCB. Some stars. Virat Kohli, 70 off 42. Very, very nice innings. Paired together with David Padikal with 50 off 27. They did a great job. They set a massive total of 205, and Rajasthan haven't been chasing totals well. And
We'll get to more specifics on that. I want to talk a little bit about this. I think it's worth diving into about Rajasthan. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, once again, it was a middle order collapse.
Yep.
The Dubé, Hetmeyer, Jarrell corridor is just not delivering, and we'll talk about that.
It's been inconsistent.
yeah.
Hetmeyer had some better innings that we will get to, but he definitely has not been the bash everything out of the ground type of guy that we have seen in years past.
And I think that he was bought for, to be
Yes.
honest. He
Oh,
was bought to be
definitely.
the guy who,
wasn't he retained?
Yeah, like he was put into
Yeah.
the side, and then he, the team chemistry kind of revolved around him being that pinch hitter.
Yeah.
Every team has at least one.
Yep.
And he doesn't seem to be the one for the job.
Well, and I also think a lot of these guys for Rajasthan are out of form.
Yeah.
At the wrong time.
I also think, well, if we get into it, let's just get into it then real quick.
Yeah.
I think there's a captaincy vacuum. I don't know how great a captain Ryan Parag is, and there's a Samson Parag, Samson
just
Parag.
losing Samson as a player,
Yeah.
too, that's a huge loss. Because then you can bat Parag down further, you can like basically slide all of these guys down a spot in the order and put less pressure on them in terms of making a bunch of runs.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say this about Ryan Parag. I've always loved him as a batter. I've always liked him as he's one of those cocky guys,
I'm enjoying him now.
me
I
too.
said a couple episodes ago that I had an irrational hatred of Ryan Parag, and that's going away.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, the thing with him is that he tends to be visibly frustrated on the field a lot of the times. He has limited emotional control on the field.
I feel like he's done a decent job since he's been captaining, though.
I mean, look, the scorecards don't reflect it, and again, cricket is a harsh game that way, so
Yeah.
yeah, possible. But fantastic batsman,
Yep.
right? He's kind of has like flawless technique. That's the claim I make.
Useful bowler a lot of times, too.
And he's the only one who'll ever bowl himself, so makes sense.
There were some games that I can't remember which game it was. It may have been this one that I actually thought he should have bowled himself twice, and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he bowled 3 overs in this one, 10 and over, so definitely should have bowled less of himself this time. But
Generally, that's the case.
yeah.
But sometimes he does come up with those wickets. But the thing is this, right? Ryan Parag as the captain, you lose Sanju Samson as a batter and as a captain. It's always rough, right? Samson's a good leader.
Yeah.
He's a good leader. He doesn't have a trophy to his name. He doesn't have too many playoff qualifications even to his name. But he's a good leader. People like him.
He's pretty humble, and he's gotten Rajasthan to excuse me.
To cough?
Yes, he's gotten Rajasthan to cough many times.
Cough up victories.
Many people say that Sanju Samson is like pollen in your throat, but a human being. No.
Yeah.
But he's gotten Rajasthan to the playoffs a couple of times, and they've had some really, really good teams in the past few years that he's captained. So
He's a good communicator. Ryan Parag. I'm back to
Yeah.
Ryan Parag. He's a good communicator. Some of his bowling changes are very questionable. It's been a
he's
little
not
bit
an
rough.
experienced captain, really.
He's
is he?
not. I mean, he's 22 years old, right? I mean, he's not Vaibhav Suryavanshi, but he's 22 years old.
More on him. I'm skeptical that he's actually 14.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think everybody's kind of stayed away from that topic of conversation. Like, it's been a big thing, but also there's really no way to verify. But also, he's probably not 14. Like, it's
Yeah.
probably just straight up, like... And look, I don't want to say too much about this, but just the fact that, like, I've played high-level cricket in India. The age fudging, this might... Once we become a famous podcast, this might be something that people pick up later, but age fudging is quite normal.
I'll
It
say
is-
this.
Yeah.
I've seen it in most sports. As soon as I watched Vaibhav Suryavanshi bat, the first thing I thought of was there was a pitcher in Major League Baseball for Cleveland for many years named Fausto Carmona. He became, I think, the number 2 or number 3 starter in Cleveland's rotation, and he pitched in the ALCS for them. He was a good pitcher for a little while, and then at one point he was trying to apply for like a visa renewal or something, and we found out that he was 3 years older than he actually was, and his name was actually Roberto Hernandez.
Wow. Why would he change his name to something worse?
I don't know. I don't know why he changed his. I mean, like, maybe there were just a lot of but also Roberto Hernandez is a pretty common name, I would think.
I
Like,
love it though.
it's not, Fausto Carmona is like, I've never heard of anybody else called that, whereas there's got to be a few Roberto Hernandez. So,
Sure.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was fudging his age. I question the point. Like,
Of the age thing?
I mean, it's to say, like, oh my god, there's a 14-year-old doing this, but I still think it would be impressive if they were like,
The
there's a
Vaibhav Suryavanshi thing?
16-year-old.
Well, the
doing
thing is this. The only reason he has to be 14 probably is because he played under 14 cricket at 17 years old.
Yeah.
And then he kicked butt at that age in that age group. So that's why they do it. And then they have to stick with it the whole time.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like
Because
if I'm 16 and I'm playing under 14, I'm scoring centuries.
yeah,
Suddenly, selectors watch me and they're like, "Wow, he's great. Let's pick him." And then now he has to keep up the facade.
So if he's like 18 or 19, I mean, it's still impressive,
It is,
but it's
101 off
certainly not
38.
unprecedented at all.
Right. Fair enough. I mean, the Pakistani cricket team is like quote unquote famous for doing this. Again, I don't think anybody's conclusively proven that Shaheen Afridi is like supposedly way older than he says he is.
It might just, I think it might be, he might be a little older than he says he is, but also he's kind of a colossal uggo. Like, I'm sorry, Shaheen, but like, you are one of the ugliest people ever to play cricket for
Shaheen
Pakistan.
Afridi?
Shahid Afridi is good looking, but Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Shaheen Shah Afridi's dude. That guy's like good looking, bro. Who are you? Shahid Afridi's good looking as well.
Shaheen Shah Afridi.
You don't
Dude,
find
he's got
him-
a weird face.
Really? You don't find him
Yeah.
good looking? He looks kind of like the Pillsbury Doughboy with his face.
I guess so, but like
Look,
literally,
he's a fine looking gentleman. I'm showing him a picture right now on my phone as we speak. He's a fine looking guy.
he looks like he kind of looks like Giant Hezbollah with a beard.
Oh my god. I can never unsee that. Man, a once fine looking gentleman. Now nothing more.
Now he's
than-
Giant Hezbollah.
I mean, hey, I'll take Giant Hezbollah. Hezbollah's a sharp looking
Hezbollah
guy.
is a sharp looking
Sharp-looking
guy.
guy.
That's true.
So, but damn. Wow. All right. Well, anyway,
I always thought he was
So-
one of the weirdest looking dudes in cricket.
that's interesting. I never thought that it was like up for debate. That doesn't. Everyone just assumed he's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
We all just agreed on it, but I guess
Interesting.
not.
I don't think he's as good looking as Bob or Mohammad Rizwan or
Oh no, yeah.
any.
But I
like
think
most
he's
of the
like a
other
fine
guys.
looking guy. Like Shahid Afridi's like a good looking guy.
Yeah.
You know, as much as again, I disagree with everybody's politics here, but like Shahid Afridi's. But I do think he's a decent looking guy.
You can disagree with someone's politics and
And think they're a
still
good
think they're a
looking guy.
decent looking guy. Problem is, all the Republicans are fucking uggos.
Really? I thought dude, what is happening? I think Republicans are good looking.
Male Republican politicians.
Yeah.
Name me one that's good looking.
The big man. He's gorgeous.
I mean, I suppose if you're attracted to Cheetos.
I'm sorry, are you not attracted to Cheetos? What's going on?
Listen, man, I had to get over that. That was a phase in college. We don't talk about the Cheetos.
Oh my god, yeah, I love this. Okay, let's get back to it.
Let's get back to it.
So I mean, even not only we're talking about the Rajasthan Royals woes. They're out now.
yeah,
So they're out of the playoff contention. Their big woes have been their middle order, which is what Rian Parag stated. I would go even further. I would say yes, it's the middle order. I would also say your bowling never really clicked either.
I was gonna say, like, Sandeep Sharma's been your best bowler,
Yeah.
and even he's only been okay.
He's been okay.
Yeah.
He's not been spectacular. He hasn't really like his strategic approach to his bowling has not been at its peak. And normally he's very intelligent. This year he's been all right. You know, Fazl Haq Farooqi.
Yeah, Faruqi's been
Pretty
he's been going for a
expensive.
run. Deshpande.
Deshpande
going
started off great, and then he just sort of
completely fell off.
and then Hasaranga, and you know it's been an average thing. So he says it's the middle order. I think he's just pissed at Jurail, Hetmeyer, and Dubé because Dubé really.
Jurail's played some. I mean, yeah,
Jurail is pretty decent.
Dubé kind of did the mini Ishan Kishan where he made a bunch of runs in his first match and like deceived all of us as to how good he actually was.
Yeah, and then he was like, "I'm heading out." now."
Yeah. Goodbye.
So that Rajasthan kind of deserves to be out at this point. They sit at 9th on the table.
Although losing to RCB, a lot of teams have lost to RCB. So CSK SRH, not much to see here. It's CSK versus SRH. CSK went all out for 154. Sam Curran hadn't found. Honestly, he hadn't just played against the Punjab Kings, which is the only team he can beat. He was extremely mid. Went out to a short ball from Harshal Patel. Yeah, they had 3 down in the power play. Dewald Brevis, maybe the one guy from CSK who's worth talking about.
No, there's another one, but go on.
Well, Ayush Mhatre.
Yes.
But Ayush Mhatre didn't have as good of a game in this game.
30 off 19 isn't as good of a game.
Not as good as like some of the innings that would come later.
That's true. But I want to mention.
It was solid.
I mean, I want to real quick talk about Ayush Mhotre's like journey into the IPL. Right? If it weren't for Gaikwad's fortuitous injury
Yeah.
for both
Brevis because Brevis was with MI and he didn't get picked up. He didn't get picked up in the auction.
yeah, exactly, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And-
well, even for his fielding alone, this dude is nuts in the field.
I think Gaikwad's injury was beneficial for at least 4 people. Dhoni, of course.
Of course.
Because Dhoni gets to, be
Gets to
back
be
in the
captain, he
get to
gets
be
all
back
his
in the
fun
saddle, right?
entrances. He gets to,
Yes.
Dhoni guy's going to be out at every match and everything.
Yes. Ayush Mhatre, who literally got a contract worth, I think it was 10 lakhs if I'm not mistaken, as an injury substitute. He was unsold in the auction. I want to say this, okay? This is a motivational story here for Ayush Mhatre. Look him up if you don't know much about him. He's 17 years old.
So he's the same age as Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
Literally. He's literally the same age as Vaibhav Suryavanshi. There's all this talk about 14-year-old Vaibhav Suryavanshi, so we forget that Ayush Mhatre is 17 years old. The thing with your life in general, if you're trying to make it as an athlete right now, or trying to make it as an actor, or trying to make it as
anything.
You're trying to start a
road out there
startup
for everybody.
It's especially in this economy.
The doctor's office draft is they're eliminating rounds here. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's never too early, and it's never too late.
It's true.
To achieve what you want to achieve.
Exactly.
And I know you're like, why are you talking about this? Who do you think you are?
It's because next
am.
year,
Huh?
I am going to play for the Punjab Kings.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I really do believe, and this is kind of it's like let's stop and just like a roadside stop so I can talk about this because I'm passionate about this. I really do believe that if you're trying to achieve something in your life, you're never too early. Because I used to get a lot of like, oh, you're not ready to be an actor yet. Like just do some more training. Stuff. I disagree with that.
Yep.
I booked a lot of work before I went to train, right? And now I'm training, and I'm sure it'll be the same way. I'll book more or whatever it is, right? It's never too early, and it's never too late.
Exactly.
We always count ourselves out. Like, Mhatre must have been like, I didn't get sold. There goes a whole year.
The world does weird shit, man.
It does. It does. And the other thing I want to say, for those of you who are listening to our podcast now, and for those who listen later, the amount of work you put in when no one is there to applaud you will determine how successful you are when there are actually people there to applaud you.
It's true.
So always put in the work, no matter if 2 people are watching your play or 200. Always give everybody the best show you can.
That's why we bust our ass to put out this podcast for the 1 billion weekly listeners that listen to it.
Speaking of which, G Fuel.
1 billion. 1 billion.
1 billion.
1 billion.
1 billion, too good.
It's basically like one person. So it's kind of like nobody's listening.
And yet everybody's listening.
And yet everybody's listening.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's what I learned from Ayush Mhatre.
He's been great.
He's been fantastic. I mean, the guy has 4 matches with an average of 40.75 at a strike rate of 185.2. Let's go on. Wait, I'm sorry. I was talking about the Gaikwad injury being good for Dhoni.
Ayush
Mhatre.
Dual Brevis.
Brevis, and Gaikwad. Because as it is, CSK was having a garbage season.
You're right.
And now he ain't going to get any of the slack.
He's going to have some new guys that he got for free to retain who are going to be key parts of the squad. And maybe he'll finally drop Sam Curran, although...
The guy just scored like...
It's fake. It's fake. Fake news. It didn't happen. It doesn't exist.
It is
Sam Curran is eating the dogs. Anyway. That is hyperbole and not actual. Sam... Yeah, the SRH innings, it wasn't that remarkable because there wasn't a whole lot of remarkability from the CSK innings, but they chased down the total relatively quickly, 18.4 overs.
Took them 5 wickets to do it.
That's true, but it took CSK 10 wickets to get 1 less. Losers. Literally.
It's crazy because now the SRH top order, and they're pretty much out of playoff contention as well.
They are.
They are out.
They were eliminated by God.
By God, yeah, literally by God. So Mukesh Ambani. But their top order has been so wishy-washy. It's actually insane. Like I've never seen them this inconsistent. Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head, they're literally hit or miss now.
Well, with Travis Head, they've been really screwing him on the impact player effect for the entire season. He was in some good form to start the season, and then they started bringing him on to not field and just come on and bat and open, and he's been inconsistent.
When we get to Brohit, it's interesting because he was used as the impact player all of last year.
Yeah.
And now pretty much all of this year. Man just like struck gold. He was like struck form suddenly. Out of nowhere.
I mean, he's Rohit Sharma.
But I think with Rohit Sharma, and we'll get to Mumbai Indians, but I think the team started to do well.
Yeah.
And then by proxy or whatever.
He just felt awkward. Like it felt like it would be weird if he didn't score.
Yeah.
So he just decided, he was like, I don't want to be a bother. I'm going to score some runs.
Yeah, let me give half a damn about this now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was the game that Nitish Kumar Reddy started to find his form a little bit too, which we love to see.
19 off 13?
19 off 13. I mean, not out.
Yeah, I mean they won.
It's better
so fine.
than, he was tied for Deepak innings of the season, so
Dude, Deepak Huda like not having it, man.
I have been saying this for like 4 years.
I mean, I love the guy, but I feel like he's just lost complete confidence in himself.
He just did that. That just happened.
I think
that
so.
just happened this
look,
year.
'cause
He didn't lose complete confidence for
No, 'cause-
himself when he failed to chase 8 off 12 when he played for Punjab Kings.
I'll tell you this: every IPL, he always at least had one good innings, and at least he looked good sometimes. But now he looks so shaky. I feel bad for the guy. Like he will not get a contract next year. I know it.
Well, he might come in as a replacement. In this game, he did make his most Deepak innings of the season, which was 22 off 21.
Yeah.
But we will get to Deepak innings because we had one hell of a Deepak innings to follow. So anyway, SRH took that one by 5 wickets with 8 balls remaining. And the next match was Pod Bowl 2, live from Kolkata.
Dead from Kolkata, I should say.
Yeah, nice foreshadowing.
Thank you.
So PBKS, did we win or lose the toss? I can't remember. I think we might have won and chosen to bat first.
PBKS won the toss.
Yeah, because Treyas love to do that. Vaibhav Arora kept leaving it outside off to Priyansh Arya, which is a bad idea. That's where he likes the ball, and he feasted on him. And Chetan Sakaria, I didn't realize that Omar Malik got injured. I guess he only got 9 hours of sleep, and so he had to leave the IPL, which is unfortunate. Chetan Sakaria was a good guy to pick against Punjab Kings because historically he destroys us. Unfortunately, he's lost a lot of form since 2 years ago.
I mean, that's what happens when you don't get played.
Yeah, but I mean, he was a rising star, like alongside
Rising Pune Super Giant.
Was he on RPS?
No, he
I
wasn't.
didn't think. I
He's
was like, I
a
remember when he was with Rajasthan. And I remember, wasn't he with GT too? He went to GT after their first mega auction, I believe.
GT. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and now he's with KKR, but he wasn't very effective. Kept
39-3.
Yeah, kept missing line and length and got pumped, and so did Harshit Rana. Basically got taken to the cleaners. Kept missing his line against Priyansh. This is becoming a theme. There was some very good composure, I thought, though, from the PBKS batting lineup. I thought that there were some quality balls that we hit to the boundary.
By the way, just so you know, Chetan Sakaria did not play for Gujarat Titans.
Who did he play for?
He played for Rajasthan Royals
That's what
in
it was.
2021.
Yeah.
And then Delhi Capitals 2022, Delhi Capitals 2023, nobody in 2024.
I was going to say, I didn't think he was in... He went to Delhi. Damn. Interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't he get called up as like a net bowler for India at one point?
Did he?
I think that was when he was with Rajasthan. It was a while ago.
Yeah. He was called up as a net bowler for India, especially during not especially, but the first time he was called up, like he was considered as a net bowler for the Sri Lanka tour in 2021. That was around the Rajasthan time, and then he was called up for the T20 World Cup in 2022.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I saw that on Facebook at some point when I was still on Facebook.
Nice.
Basically, we were just showing good composure, hitting balls to the boundary until... What do you think happened?
I think you guys crumbled, and it wasn't the rain.
I mean, like, very specifically, and what happened next. As a KKR fan, you should know this.
I would say Glenn Maxwell came to the plate.
More like somebody came into bowl for KKR. And then something immediately happened after that.
It's
that
always
always
Andre
happens.
Russell.
Yes,
Right? Yeah, it's
Andre
always
Russell
Andre
came in
Russell.
and took a wicket.
It's actually annoying for me as a KKR fan too. We just bring him in. He always takes. It's always caught behind as well.
Yeah.
It's either always caught behind or like a lob up.
Yeah, exactly. Never clean bowled or anything like that.
Mhm.
Always just comes in, takes the wicket. It happens. In this case, it was Priyansh Arya who had to depart for 69 off 35, which was a very good opening innings.
I want to make special note of Prabh Simran Singh.
Yes.
Like as much as I've talked crap about him, I've changed my opinion about him. And I do cop to the fact that I never liked him, but he has been, I enjoy watching him bat now, and that's something that it's hard for me to say, you know? He has been phenomenal. He's batted with such confidence, and I think a lot of that has to do with, I don't want to give Ayur all the credit, but he's given everybody the confidence to bat the way that they want to bat and be okay to get out. I mean, some of the shots he's played, I would consider them stupid. But he has been, I mean, they've all come off. The scoops, the reverses. Sometimes the reverses don't come off, but the scoops, the reverses, the pull shots over long off somehow.
There was a time when I was very mad that we retained Prob. There was a time when every time he would go off, I would think something like,
We should not be going in that dressing room. We should be going in the other dressing room.
right? Over the past couple of years, Prob has started to really find himself and make some innings. And it was quiet at the beginning because we weren't a good time, but he made an IPL 100 and it wasn't this year. He has had some really good innings over the past couple of years. It's been steady improvement. He honestly, and this is one for our football fans out there as well, and honestly, any of our fans who are Hoops fans, but he reminds me a lot of a guy on the Boston Celtics named Jaylen Brown, who for a lot of years was getting paid a lot of money. People were like, he's overpaid, he's overrated, blah, blah, blah. But every single year, he kept getting better, and he was NBA Finals MVP last year. So I'm very proud of Prob, and this was a great innings, 83 off 49, but it would not be his last great innings over the next week or so.
Hardly.
So Glenn came in, he did hit a boundary, but he still went out for 7 off 8, which is like, basically normal Glenn innings.
I love how with Maxwell we have to say he did hit a boundary. So that there's
that's
that.
like you gotta take your victories where you can with this guy. But the biggest victory with him is still to come in our coverage. One thing to talk about here, we completely mangled our batting lineup in this match. We ended up making 201 for 4. We should have made 25 to 30 further runs.
Against KKR, talking about?
Yes, we completely mangled our batting lineup. In at number 5 was Marco Janssen.
Woo!
I love Marco Janssen. Been one of my favorite players this year, PBKS or otherwise. And he is great with the bat. Marco Janssen is a number 8 or a number 9. If you have a really sick batting lineup, then you can bring him in at number 9. He is not a number 5, and he made 3 off 7 because he's not a number 5.
They really didn't trust Inglis, huh?
Well, but they brought Inglis down. The people they didn't trust were Shashank Singh and Nehal Vadera, who are like the 2 guys in our middle lower order that you should be trusting. Like Shashank was in some weird form. I can understand wanting to hold him back, but Vadera has been coming in at number 5 all season and making a ton of runs. I don't understand. I don't even understand, like, honestly, like, I would have maybe even brought him in at number 4 ahead of Glenn. I mean, I would have brought just about anybody in ahead of Glenn, but, if Glenn's in the lineup, I might have even elevated Vadera above that. But they didn't bring him in at all. They didn't bring in Omarzai either, who batted pretty well against Gujarat in the one game that he played. Yeah, it was 201 for 4, but it should have been a lot more. And had we lost this match, this is what I would have been really angry about.
You wouldn't have lost this match. I can tell you that.
I mean,
we weren't chasing 200.
I'm sorry, but sending Janssen in at number 5 is...
Stupid.
And it's like, what? Because they were impressed with him scoring 25 off 20, not out against RCB? Is that what it is? Because neither Ricky Ponting nor Shreyas said anything about that decision. Like, they were sent, as you said, ahead of Vadera, Shashank, and Josh Inglis, who Inglis
We'll talk about him, but
right.
he's been our really good Australian this year. But yeah, I don't understand this decision. I don't understand not trusting our batters. And I'm glad that we didn't see anything more like this again. In the second innings, Marco conceded a solid 7 from the first over.
And then what happened? Well, see, the thing is, one of the things, I might have said this on the podcast last week, but the last 2 matches that KKR played PBKS before this, it was highest successful chase in IPL history and lowest total defended in IPL history. So at that point, you really, if you're KKR, you have to ask yourself, like, maybe we should just simply not play the Punjab Kings, right? You call up Mukesh, you say, hey, can you tell the government to turn on the rain?
You're KKR. You don't need Mukesh.
No, everybody needs Mukesh.
Not KKR.
Who do you think Shahrukh goes to? You think he has all the power?
Shahrukh has a deity on the field. And his name
Sunil Narayan.
Is Sunil Narayan.
You're right.
Sunny N, 1 over, 7 runs, said, hell to the fucking no. Calls in the clouds, no 5 overs, so it's a no result. We will get into, football fans, we will get into what happens if there's more than 5 overs in the second innings later, because that happened today. next up, MI versus LSG. This was another in MI's long line of demolishing terrible teams.
I want to say this is the game that Rickleton really impressed me in.
He's been impressive all season.
He has been, and his technique is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, Rohit was 2 6s and out, which was funny to me.
That's been a lot of innings for him this season.
Before he became like really good again for a bit. But I will say Avesh has been like, he's not been very good with the ball, and he's not been very good on the field as well. He's been really
he did do some decent things in the bed he
In
did
the
do
bed?
some decent things
Whoa.
in the bed. I mean, I don't know, but you know. He did do some decent things with the bat in the last game. The one thing I will say about Avesh Khan is I owe him an apology. I no longer believe that Avesh Khan has gotten fat. I believe that the LSG uniform makes you look fat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're probably right.
I really do think it makes you look fat. I don't think it's slimming, and it needed to be redesigned anyway, as we've been over. So, yeah.
Surya Kumar once again looked unbelievable. Like the way he plays spin and that sweep
Does
shot.
he ever look unbelievable though?
It's just because the way he like bends down to play that sweep, it's crazy. Like I don't know how he gets that amount of reach and that amount of speed to bend down and play pacers and spinners alike.
It's the instant coffee.
Oh, it's gotta be.
It's the instant coffee.
Well, we solved that. Poor Ravi Bishnoi. He bowled his heart out for 3.5
So
deliveries.
sad.
And then the last ball of his entire spell, he gets Tilak Verma caught at mid wicket on a sweep. And he looked so sad as well. He was like, man, sucks to be me.
It kind of does suck to be Ravi Bishnoi this year. I just hope he gets released so he can come back to Punjab.
Really? You'd like him
Bowl with
back?
Cheh-
You have
Dude,
Chahal.
him and Chahal though.
I think you only need Chahal.
Two great spinners. It's the perfect number, man. Two top spinners. It's like two girlfriends. It's
But
the
you
perfect
already-
number.
That's crazy. You already have two spinners.
I mean, we have more than two spinners, but
No. You have two spinners.
I mean, we have Harpreet and we have Chahal.
No Harpreet.
Glenn's not coming back,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah, he
He's not
is.
coming back.
Glenn Maxwell
Glenn's not coming
And
back.
Yuzvendra Chahal.
Glenn is eating the dogs and will not be allowed back into India.
Speaking of Punjab spinners, I just want to segue for real quick. I don't know. We'll talk about that when we get to RCB. Anyway, go on.
MILSG, yeah, MI made 215 for 7. It was a good innings. Namandir also been pretty fantastic this season, and his facial hair is fucking fantastic as well. So I'm a big fan of his. I hate how many guys in this Mumbai squad I like because I hate Mumbai Indians.
I love Mumbai Indians.
Do you?
It's because Hardik. This is only because of Hardik.
I mean, that's
And
fine.
Hardik, the way he was booed last year,
Uh,
the way he was abused
Unacceptable.
last year,
They don't deserve him.
they really don't deserve him.
They don't deserve him.
But he's
And
gonna,
he's shown a lot of composure as captain this year. He's been in some difficult situations, and he's shown a lot of composure, and he's done really well after last year, the way everybody was a dick to him.
Yeah.
And just came back, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm here for the players on this field. I don't give a fuck about, all these people in commentary saying that I suck. I'm Hardik Pandya. I don't suck.
yeah.
Right?
Corbin Bosch played well too. I
Yep.
want to mention that.
He's another injury replacement.
Yeah. For
Lazard Williams, I believe.
who the hell is that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Namandir played brilliantly, and so did
Corbin
Corbin
Bosch.
Bosch. Yeah. It was a great batting outing for Mumbai, of course. And then
But all of these bowlers were over 10 and over. Every single one of them. Actually, Bishnoi was the second best.
Avesh has been super unimpressive. Super unimpressive. to
Yeah.
me.
But a lot of these guys, I want to talk more about the LSG bowling attack when we talk about the Punjab match. But yeah, I've not been impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, LSG bundled out for 161. Bumrah, 5.5 and over, 4 wickets.
Guy's crazy.
Kind of all you need to know.
The guy's honestly crazy.
With Trent Bolt at 5 and over, 3 wickets. That's all you need to know. That basically did it. LSG bundled out for 161. And that was it. DC versus the RCB.
You gotta get Danny Morrison.
Danny Morrison.
on
That's true. We
the
gotta get
soundboard.
Danny on the soundboard.
And
Yeah,
it's out of here. You know it.
Let's talk about DCRCB.
DC has forgotten how to win games.
Completely. Their form is absolute shit, and this was one of the games that got it there.
Somebody was mentioning to me that they peaked too early. Now, I don't believe in this. I don't believe that a team can peak too early or too late or whatever. You win games, you win a game. You know, like if you're performing, you're performing. If you're not performing, you're not performing. There's no peak. There's no peaks and troughs to be had.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't
Well,
think
it's such a short season. If your peak is high enough, you're gonna make the playoffs anyway. And if your trough is low enough, you're gonna. I mean, if the season was twice as long, like Sunrisers might make the playoffs.
if it was the MLB,
Yeah.
right, then fine.
Well,
you know.
if it was the MLB, like we wouldn't even have any idea who was gonna make the playoffs at this point.
Right.
So.
Right.
But I will say one mistake that Delhi made was it wasn't in this match. It was in one of the matches a couple of weeks ago. But they had KL Rahul, Karun Nair, Mohit Sharma, and I want to say one other guy. There were like 4 2020 Punjab Kings in that lineup, and I was like, that you don't want those vibes. Too
Yeah.
many, like completely wrong vibes. Not what you want. You're not gonna win with this lineup. And Karun Nair has not made any runs since his big
It's his
first
big knock.
innings.
I mean, also special shout out to Tim David. I mean, Tim David just like assaulted DC in the last 2-3 overs.
He assaulted us in the last 2-3 overs when they played us too. He's Tim David has been. You were saying this on our last pod together. He's been one of the most consistent finishers in the
Batters for
league.
RCB. And I mean, this game, you know, you talk about Tim David, you talk about, you know, everybody else who scored runs with RCB, i.e. Kohli again, but Krunal Pandya was the hero. Really.
He's like, I'm my brother today. 73 off 47.
He can never be his brother. Don't ever say that again.
But for one day.
No.
One day. That's true. Hardik would have scored faster.
And better and more.
That's true. There were some shaky parts of that innings, but hey, he survived the 73 off 47. Like, respect. Kohli only made 51 off 47. Now, that's a D-Puck innings contender, although it's not going to win.
I want to talk about Kohli real quick. He
The
had
Chinese
this
small stuff.
the loser master is what it is, and I know this is gonna be a huge pivot for me. When I like Kohli. I like his aggression on the field. I like that he just doesn't settle for the easy way out in anything that he does in life. But he recently picked a little bit of a scuffle with Harpreet Brar. I don't know if you saw that. And it was like later on they were like, "Oh yeah, it was funny. Like, you know, he just meant it as a joke. He was being sarcastic." And they you know, were talking after the game off the field, and it was really cute or whatever. No, it was kind of a dick thing to say. He was like, "Oh, you're trying to get me out stumped? Like, I know you're coach. I've been doing this for 20 years. You're trying to get me out stumped?" And Harpreet was scared. He was like, "No, but yeah, I'm not trying to do anything like that.
Yeah.
No. I don't like it. I don't like that from Kohli.
You know what it is?
I think it's trash.
It's his theater kid nature.
yeah.
And you know what? He's mad. He's mad about Brar CB.
Bar CB.
Brar CB.
Oh, Brar
because
CB. Hello.
Harpreet dominates RCB.
Oh,
So they're Brar CB.
yeah.
You know? He once got out Virat Kohli, Glenn Maxwell, and AB de Villiers all in quick succession, and only one of those was unimpressive. Because it's Glenn.
Yeah, exactly.
Except it was the last good IPL season that Glenn had, and he was on form at the time, so
Yeah.
it was more impressive. And he got him out like second ball or something like that. Clean bowled. And I believe I was on Melrose when that happened, and I believe I audibly said, "Quack, quack, motherfucker."
You know, the other thing I didn't like about him was that when Jitesh Sharma hit a 6, Kohli turned right towards Iyer and started doing these like animated gestures and like started like doing that crazy stuff. Like, he can't take it. Like, he dishes it out, but he can't take it. Like,
Because he's a dude, what theater kid have you ever met who can take it?
true.
Like, imagine how he's gonna react when they tell him he's not getting called back for Wicked 2. It's gonna be way worse.
Yeah. Well, he's already shooting Wicket 2, so we're fine.
It's good.
Wicket 2, am I right?
Wicked. Eh.
The thing with him is that I believe it was Kesrick Williams who had the notebook celebration when he got Kohli out once.
Yes.
Like, I
Well,
don't know.
and now Digvesh has stolen it.
Davies has stolen it, and it's not very impressive to me. But anyway, what I wanted to say is this.
Yeah.
Kesrick Williams had the celebration. Kohli, like, remembered it for so long. And then every time he hit a boundary off Kesrick, like, I know it's, like, gone down in, like, Indian cricket fan history as, like, the greatest moment ever. Like, calm down, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're the captain of the Indian cricket team, and Kesrick is just, like, one of the
Kesrick
many
Williams.
bowlers that West Indies will produce over the years. Like, don't be...
He's like a let's remember some guys guy.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he did the notebook celebration. It was a big deal
Let's
for him.
remember some guys who had notebook celebrations. That's might be the number one thing he's remembered for.
Exactly. Like, he got you out. It was a big deal for him. He wrote it down on his fake notebook. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Now, every time you hit a boundary, you're doing it so aggressively and so rudely. Like,
Digvesh did that to Priyancharya in his face, and he didn't even look at him.
yeah, exactly. Like, just like learn to like calm down. Learn to like, you know, if you're dishing it out, especially,
Yeah,
then you should be able to take it.
exactly.
So I don't like him anymore. That's my big thing about Kohli.
He's gonna win me back.
Yeah,
I still
probably me too.
love sheer comfort and long life.
Yeah, but that's more MRF, right? Like, I love MRF.
I'm sorry, what does his bat say on the front?
MRF.
Exactly. Case
Well,
rest.
yeah, but that's more credit to MRF than it is to Kohli. Because you're not recommending
you saying
Virat
that-
Kohli
are
for
you
sheer
saying that-
comfort and long life. You're recommending MRF ZLX.
I mean, if you enjoy high drama and being extra, I am actually recommending Virat Kohli for sheer comfort and long life.
I had enough of that in my real life.
That's fair.
I don't need it. I don't need
Oh, how much money would we have to pay Virat Kohli to actually go to acting school? Oh my god, it would be so fun.
God.
But yeah, DC RCB. I think we basically covered it. Yeah, RCB win by 6 wickets with 9 balls remaining. To the RRs, the double R's.
The double R.
Versus the GTs. Let's drink a G&T and talk about the GTs.
I think the big problem also that Rajasthan has is that they just keep winning the toss and choosing to bowl first. Like, why don't you just try and bat first for once, you know?
I mean, when you're losing so many matches, you might as well
Try
give it a
something
shot.
different. Like, because clearly chasing is not something that you're able to do.
That's true. They
Yeah.
were able to do it in this match, though. This was the match where Vaibhav Suryavanshi made 101 fiscal runs off only 38 deliveries.
Yeah.
There was also Joss Butler, and we love to see this type of thing out of Joss Butler. Absolutely horrific drop of Jaiswal. And it was early in the innings, and it was real bad because Jaiswal also made 70 off 40. I don't know, man, as a keeper, it's pretty embarrassing. I feel like you could have taken this one.
Literally everyone. Oh, I could have taken it easily. Like anybody who looks like when the keeper goes up for a catch, you don't even bother watching. You just celebrate, and then you wait for the keeper to actually collect the catch. I can't believe he dropped that. It's like the most, and I'm so glad. But you love to see it, as I said.
Yeah,
as
of
you said.
course.
So it was great.
And after he made 50 not out off 26, like it was not going well in the Joss Butler department prior to this. So it was really good to see him ruin his own day by dropping that catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vaibhav made the second fastest 100 ever for a 17-year-old.
I hate. Well, it's funny. I hate that he took Ishant to the cleaners.
Yeah,
because I
sucks.
love Ishant Sharma.
Me too.
One of my favorite. But, you know, credit to Gujarat. They keep bringing him in as impact player. Like, I would have stopped by now. Like, he has not delivered the goods.
They
this year.
stand a true king.
I love it, dude. I love it.
So do we.
I love Ashish Nehra. Huge
He's
fan.
so cool. He is the coolest coach in the IPL.
He's super young as well. Like,
He's got the backwards hat,
Yeah,
and like he
and he's
always
always,
wears
like-
the vest.
And the best part is he's always like coaching from the sideline.
Yeah.
He's never like
Well,
sitting.
he looks like he's ready to go out and have a bowl himself, and I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like if somebody gets injured, he's gonna be like, "Yo,
I got
Ashish,
this.
right arm over, let's fucking go."
I'll do it
Unless he was
for.
a left arm bowler, in which case,
He is a left arm bowler.
fuck. Ashish, left arm over. I'm fucking coming in. Listen, he's a right-hander and Rohit Sharma's a left-hander, and you will never be able to convince me otherwise, okay? But yeah, ended up turning it into a real straightforward run chase for the double I's. And Rayon Prague, 32 off 15, not out. We love to see it.
You love to see it.
We love to see it. Not a great day for the GT bowlers, except for Rashid Khan, which we like to see. Surprisingly, but only going at 6 per over when everybody else went at double digits, and a certain Karim Janat went at 30 runs per over, which is damn impressive. And
You know
only
who I
bowled
hate?
1 over. No,
Sai Kishore.
I disagree with you.
Do you know why I hate Sai Kishore?
Why?
He picked the fight with Hardik Pandya.
Damn.
Did you see that?
I didn't see that he picked a fight.
He literally went up to Hardik Pandya and started staring at him, and Hardik Pandya was like, "Fuck off."
He
Get the
was like,
fuck
"Don't
out."
show me your resting tragedy face."
Yeah, he just looked, gave him like a stare, and I was like, "All right, I don't know this guy. I hate this guy now.
He's
Why are
kinda
you
cool.
picking a fight with
You
a
should
senior batter?"
familiarize yourself with his game. He's
I
got a
have.
good game.
I have
He's got a good game.
nothing of note.
I like his resting tragedy face and his ability to bring resting tragedy to other people's faces.
I mean, Nick Knight asked him like during one of the post-match interviews, oh, Rashid Khan bowled well. You know, he's not been in great form. How do you feel that he's done well today? Taika Shore was like, oh, I don't know how it is in the commentary box, but we've always believed in him. And like that wasn't the point of the question. The point of the question was Rashid Khan has like objectively been out of form. It's a fact.
Yeah.
And so you could just answer the question and not be a dickhead about it. So it reveals a lot about his personality, I think, that he's just a dick. Just accept it.
Well, he always looks like he's seeing something horrific, so
He does.
maybe it went to his head. On the other hand, I don't know. I'm
He looks like
open.
Waldo.
Yeah, I guess he does kind of look like Waldo, but he never wears the Waldo shirt.
Or the headband.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he wears a headband.
Oh, he does. No, but not the rain, like the red and
But
white
it's
one.
it's not a red and white, but
It's the black one, yeah.
there isn't. I don't know if there is a team. He could play for like the Melbourne Renegades, and that would be red and black. He could play for the old Kings 11, and then he would really look like Where's Waldo?
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended up being a fairly straightforward win for RR, and with 25 balls remaining, chasing down 210. Wow, that's pretty impressive, but it helps to get 101 off 38. And Shubman Gill with 84 off 50. That was a nice innings as well.
Yeah.
Worthy of a mention.
I'm feeling bad for Nitish Rana because he's just like he's such a hit or miss,
Yeah,
He was 4 and out in this game, and it's just weird to see.
he might just be a little out of form.
I mean, he's like I don't know, he's like being used as a pinch hitter right now,
It's
which
true. Well, he's mostly he's historically like an opener.
yeah, well, he's historically a 1-down batsman, like
Yeah.
a
Well,
stability.
he's coming
guy.
in at 1 down.
Yeah, which is great,
Yeah.
but he's a stability player. He's not a hit or miss guy, and he's like
Mm.
just coming in and trying to smack everything, which is it's fine if he can make it work, then it's fine, honestly. But he's been very inconsistent.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Rajasthan keeps playing him.
I mean, he's still one of their better players. Most of that team hasn't been performing, so. But let's move on to KKR versus DC.
Live from Delhi.
Live from Delhi. It's kind of the Aryaan derby.
Well, it used to. Well, not really. I'd say I only have one team, objectively.
Well, but like,
I've never liked Delhi.
but you spent a lot of time in Delhi,
Yeah, I live there.
so still kind of the Aryaan. It's not quite like as sentimental on both sides as the Nick Bowl, but like,
Yeah.
is the Aryaan Bowl still more like Chargers versus Giants?
No, Chargers vs Giants is more important to me.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's the real
Giants.
Aryaan Bowl.
Yeah, the Giants is like the thing for me.
Yeah. It's DC versus
Versus
KKR, the
KKR.
KK Riders. We had Ramanul Gurbaz. Ramanul Gurbaz has been back in the lineup, which we love to see
I love it.
because the old guy I hardly know.
Yeah.
He made 26 off 12. I'd be happy with that.
I'll take it.
We'll take it. Not a bad innings at all.
Sonny In also got off to a flyer.
Yeah, 27 off 16. He went out LBW to Vipraj, who Vipraj has been a very good find for Delhi.
Yeah.
One of the best all-rounders in the league this year.
Yeah. It's so funny that Gurbaz, every time he bats, he's so streaky. Like, he always gets, like, a top edge to third man off a bouncer. Always. Like,
But he'll
without fail.
score 3 runs a ball. Take
Yeah.
it. Even if he just gets 26, that's enough.
Yeah,
you know?
1,000%.
Krish came on to punish Vippy before Venkatesh Iyer had the type of dismissal that I'm sure makes you want to pull your hair out.
It just makes me say, all right, next batsman. Because I never have any faith in Venkatesh.
He's like a better Glenn.
Who, Venkatesh?
Like a better,
No,
in
he's-
terms of somebody you don't have faith in.
He's just Glenn. Like, I'd
He's
be
better
happy.
than Glenn. He's better than Glenn. He will make a double-digit number of runs. He's better than Glenn.
I hard disagree.
I mean, I can give you solid evidence that he's made a double-digit number of runs this year, which Glenn.
Yeah,
Probably
but I
hasn't.
could give you evidence that, like, based on, like, if you look at both their careers, there's
That's
no
true.
comparison.
That's true.
That's
he
what I
didn't.
think.
He didn't make 201 not out. But yeah, I've definitely seen this season why you don't like Venky.
Yeah.
I really have seen it. He's had a couple of flashes, but it's a lot of.
It's always that. It's always a couple of, like, big flashes and nothing else.
And in between, just a lot of pretty unsophisticated agricultural stroke play
Well said.
that makes him go out. Cheaply. Rinku Singh, however, has been quite strong throughout the season. Had a
During the second half of the season.
yeah, he's been in good form recently. Couple of mistakes in the field, but
Yeah.
with the bat, he's been very, very strong. He brought back the momentum. Ended up making 36 off of 25. Krish had 44 off 32. Krish has been very, very good.
He's been so good, dude.
Arguably the best batter for
Oh
KKR
yeah.
this
Well,
season.
I would say it's Rahane,
Yeah,
followed by
Ungrish,
Ungrish second.
but only like 15 years of extra experience.
But it's crazy.
Rahane
It's
has.
crazy how Rahane has reinvented himself, dude. Like I never thought Rahane was capable of batting like this.
Always been an intelligent, analytically minded cricketer.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen what the analytics have been saying over the past couple of years. Whether or not he was actually going to be able to do it was an open question, but I don't know. I love to see it. I love seeing guys reinvent themselves.
Yeah, and especially a guy like Rahane, he deserves it. You know,
Yep.
he's been given the captaincy kind of out of the blue, and look what he's done with it. But I will say, Rahane has gotten their strike rates are pretty much exactly the same. Can you believe that? 146.64 Rahane, 146.15
Almost the same, yep.
The only difference is Rahane's played an extra game, or at least an extra innings, and his average is 4 runs less. He scored more runs,
Yeah.
so he scored 327 runs at an average of 36.3. Raghuvanshi scored 285 runs at an average of 40.7.
So it's the one, and he's Uncreech might have been not out a couple of times too.
That's
which
probably
might
what it
have,
is, yeah.
um,
But Rahane
raised
has
his
350s and Raghuvanshi has only 1.
Gosh, but he usually makes like at least 30 to 40 runs.
Yeah.
And will do it pretty quickly.
Yes.
And he's consistent, so he might not make that big 100 or a bunch of big 50s.
But he'll get you the 40.
He will get you the 40 almost every time, and that is the useful. Drearis with a decent finish, and Delhi took a bunch of wickets at the end, but it didn't matter because KKR reached 204 for 9. Very nice.
Indeed, indeed.
And it was even nicer because Anukul Roy took Abhishek second ball of.
I was so happy for him
the-
because poor Anukul Roy didn't score any runs. He literally
Yeah.
got out first ball, second ball.
It was first ball.
First ball. I mean,
First
poor
ball,
guy.
and it was a really nice delivery from Chimera too. I think it was a Yorker right in the block hole. It
There's
was
something you
it
can
was a
do about
tough
it.
One, yeah, it was kind of unplayable.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that ball that Priyansh went out to from Archer that was just like right there on top of middle and off. And what are you gonna do? But great wicket to take Abhishek Porel for only 4 and out. Faf, however, was able to get things going. He made it up to 62 off 45. Karun Nair, still just 1 innings from him. Didn't he make like 300 in his first innings for India and then never
In the
made any
test
runs
match.
again?
Well, it's because he was never picked again. He was dropped the subsequent series.
It's part of his energy to make a bunch of runs like once and then either not get picked again or not have form again.
Yeah, I mean that one is like one of Indian Test cricket's biggest tragedy stories, like among many others. But like
Yeah.
he just like randomly wasn't picked after that, and it's always confusing. That's why Raidu was so frustrated with Indian selection. It's
Yeah.
like where are you getting your where are you making your decisions from?
Exactly. Yeah.
I want to mention, by the way, before we continue, Rovman Powell played this time.
Yes, he did.
And he is just as unimpressive as I remember him.
Yep. He has not made a ton of runs in the IPL, I feel like.
I'm not sure why we played him. I couldn't tell you. Like, at least from my perspective, why
Well,
they
there have
played
been
him.
some other, like, Sherfane Rutherford's been pretty solid for GT, and Romario Shepherd. I suppose those guys are both, like, gigantic as
Yeah.
well, which Rovman Powell isn't nearly as big. But then again, you have your poor ends, and in most seasons you have Hetmeyer, who neither of them are very big, and both of them hit big sixes, so
Well, Hetmeyer's like built like
That's
like,
true.
strongly.
He's a
Puran, yeah, not
brick
so much.
house.
Like, and there wasn't anything special about why they brought in Rovman Powell, according to the KKR people.
No.
It's just there's speculation that he's brought in because
Probably
he's a-
matchups or something like that, and they wanted to give him a game.
yeah, he's a good finisher, and
Yeah.
and they didn't play Ramandeep Singh.
Well, Ramandeep's been way out of form.
Yeah, I hate it because the guy comes in with like 6 balls to spare and he gets out for his ball, and then you're using it against him.
Yep.
You hate to see that.
Well, and he's been very good in the field, but
Oh, he's always a brilliant fielder.
I don't know if you can pick. Well, they were picking Glenn just for his fielding, so there you go. But it was all together a pretty good bowling innings from KKR across the board. A lot of these guys up for single digits. Sonny N ran out KL for it was a direct hit too. It was-
Crazy because Sunil Narayan is our worst fielder.
But
Well, him and Varun Chakravarti.
every once in a while he'll give you your old direct hit because he's a deity. He just doesn't feel like fielding.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the spirit just never catches him. But today it did.
Anukul's just missed. I just want to say real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad for him once again
Yeah.
because it was a good ball, but the catch. Anyway, go on.
It's a tough one. Akshar Patel made some good runs with 43 off 23. That was a good innings, but most of the rest of these, KL 7 off 5, Tristan Stubbs 1 off 3, Vipraj made 38 off 19. Vipraj was probably Delhi's best player in this match. But yeah, Smash Utosh did not smash Utosh, 7 off 6. And then you're into the tail. Stark out first ball, Chimera and Kuldeep both not out for single-digit numbers, and KKR won this match by 14 runs.
Which is not even that convincing, considering they were on top of the game the entire time.
Yeah, it's good enough. I don't know. They could have gotten Faf out a little bit quicker.
It's Gene.
It's Gene.
Good enough.
And we will talk about him. But first, we have to talk about a game that he didn't attend, but that PBKS did. CSK. This was a bit of a frustrating one for me, even though we did take the dub. And the reason why it was frustrating is because the incredibly mid Sam Curran hit us for a bunch of runs, which was really, really frustrating. And also, this win was not as convincing as it needed to be. But we did do some good things. Arsh and Marco Janssen bundled out Sheikh Rashid and Ayush Mhatre for 11 and 7 runs, respectively. So that was very strong. But unfortunately, the incredibly mid Sam Curran came in and made 88 off 47.
I mean, the former PBKS captain. by the way.
Stand-in captain.
No, I think you meant.
Captain.
I think you meant him to take over the franchise in the future, and it just didn't happen.
You know what my biggest problem with him is? He always plays great against Punjab Kings, and then we buy him, and he's terrible against every other team. But unfortunately, today in this game, he was playing Punjab Kings, and he destroyed us. Fortunately, he was the only CSK batter who really destroyed us. Brevis did make 32 off 26, but Harpreet was able to get Jadeja. Dhoni went out fourth ball to Chahal, although he did hit a couple of big boundaries before that.
Cry me a river.
Yep. Deepak Huda, second ball. You'll love to see it. Yeah.
Who loves to see it, Nick?
Me. And we bundled out. I completely forgot to talk about the most important part of our bowling innings, which is that we had our first IPL hat trick.
Yeah, but Chahal's like third.
Yeah, but our first one this season. Dhoni was the first wicket in that over.
It's always him.
And then, Deepak, Kamboj, and Noor Ahmed. Boom, boom, boom. Cleaning up the tail. And, yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then Shubman Gill hit a 4, and Arsh took him, and they were all out for 190. So, mostly really good bowling this innings, not really good bowling to Sam Curran, but I will take that. I will take all out for 190. And we chase that motherfucker. So, our one...
Big whoop, bro.
Big whoop. Yeah, I know. Worst team in the league, and we still almost didn't chase it down.
Also, just to clarify, it was Chahal's second hat trick in the IPL.
But the first hat trick of anybody this season.
Of course.
And still the only one.
Yeah.
So,
and guess who he took it against before?
Punjab?
No.
KKR?
Playing for Rajasthan 3 years ago.
Because I believe he's the leading wicket taker against KKR.
Yep, and guess who he got out to start the hat trick?
Oh, it was 3 years ago?
Yep.
I can't remember my 3 years ago KKR. Would it have been Nitish Rana?
No.
Sunil Narayan?
It's a year. You're thinking of Nitish Rana's captaincy? Is that right?
Maybe.
No.
Was it
go
further back?
No, ahead.
Ahead.
Who was captain for Nitish?
Shreyas Iyer.
He started it.
Wow. Look at that. How about that?
Yeah.
And then Shreyas Iyer, followed this advice.
We should not be going in that dressing room. We should be going in the other dressing room.
With Chahal.
He literally did.
He literally did. Our openers batted with some good intent, and we chased pretty sensibly to survive most of 3 power play overs from Khalil, who was on a heater in this game. He was bowling tons and tons and tons of dots. Khalil did manage to get Priyansh flailing at a short ball. So that was unfortunate. But Prob pressed on alongside Captain Shreyas, and they were pumping Patirana. He made his 50. It's bad drop. But then Noor popped up Prob, and it was taken by Brevis, who Brevis would have some pretty fantastic fielding later in this inning. Finally, somebody in this team pumped Sam Curran, and it was Shreyas Iyer. So at least our new captain finally avenged our terrible old stand-in captain. Ew, English.
Future of the franchise.
Ew.
Captain.
Oh, never, ever. Ugh, ew. Always been Arshdeep Singh. And Prabh Simran Singh. Yeah, so Shreyas pumped Curran to get to 50. Nahal, unluckily, glanced one to Jadeja, the worst person ever to hit a ball anywhere near. Incidentally, there's been a lot of talk about the catch of the season. I talked about this on last week's podcast. I still think that Jadeja's one-handed catch off the free hit is my catch of the season because he did it for the love of the game. You know?
Yeah.
None of the other catches were taken off of free hits, and
Nothing
so,
counts unless it can be monetized. So that doesn't count.
You know what? Chicks dig regular catches, but you know what? Chicks need to learn to dig free hit catches.
You mean Knicks?
Knicks dig free hit catches.
Yeah.
Shashank came in and found his form again, thank God. Bashed one around until he got taken out by one of the best regular catches I've seen all season, which was he hit one to the boundary. Brevis did like a double juggle on the boundary, but he kept his feet inside the boundary rope the entire time. He threw it up like twice to himself and still caught it. One hell of a catch.
He came running from the boundary rope, like sticking his finger up as if like, oh yeah, that was out for sure. And I was like, he's gonna be so embarrassed when they rule this a 6. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, no,
He actually
he
like
nailed
did
it, dude. DeWald Brevis, NFL wide receiver? Question mark?
Period.
Patirana finally got Shreyas out, and then the Shedge Fund popped up to Noor. I'm sad about the Shedge Fund not making runs. I want him to stay in the lineup so he gets more chances because I love him. Anyway, he popped to Noor with the scores level, but it was not enough for CSK as Marco Janssen bottom edge 1 for 4, coming in at his correct position of 8 down. No, sorry. His correct position of 6 down. Forgive me, at number 8. And he bottom edge 1 for 4. And we won with 2 balls remaining. 194 for 6. So RMI, 100-run victory for Mumbai Indians. This was maybe the most boring game of the season.
Probably. It was a huge drubbing. Nobody scored for Rajasthan, and then
Everybody scored for NY.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Hardik.
Not much to talk about, but yes, go Hardik. He had a great game.
Identical scores for Surya Kumar and Hardik, by the way. 48-23, 48-23.
Amazing.
Put that out there.
Amazing.
Rohit Sharma finally finds his form. Congrats, Rohit.
Good job. Okay, GT SRH. SRH didn't bowl well enough. They allowed 225 for 5. The key with GT is you have to get the first 3 guys out as quickly as you can. They didn't do that. 225 for 5. Very simple.
You kind of can't get Sai Sudarshan out.
Except for today.
Right.
They
which
got
we'll
him out
talk
today.
about.
And
then Butler, they let Butler score somehow.
yes, which is disgusting and terrible, and we hate to see it.
Yep.
And yeah, didn't chase quickly enough. Clausen didn't get moving. Prasad Krishna got Travis Head early. Ishan Kishan came in and they slowed down and they fell behind the run rate, and that was that. Yeah, 186 for 6. That's about it. RCB versus CSK. This actually was similarly close to the PBKS game. Jacob Bethel came in for Philly S and actually played pretty well. They had a 73 for 9 power play. Bethel made 50.
He's a great batter.
He is, but he's English.
Yeah.
So
Plus, he's younger than me, which makes me jealous, which makes me like him less.
there we go. He's still better than Josh Butler, though. Though that's pretty low bar.
Low bar.
If we're being honest. And I just took my notes off. Huh?
Romario Shepherd, 53 off 14 deliveries.
Yup. Absolutely massive.
I mean, he didn't spare anybody.
Nope.
No.
And he just came in and from first. Well, he took like maybe 5 balls or so to get going, but like the last bunch of balls, every single one went to the boundary. Khalil, 33 off the 19th. Crazy. One of the best bowlers in the IPL this year. And Tim David, it was one of the few matches he didn't make runs because he didn't even have the strike. He made
you
2
go.
off 3, not out, but like
As long as he's
nothing
not
to
out,
do.
you can't
Yeah.
blame him.
CSK openers took a while to get going, but this was the big Ayush Mhatre innings. Every gap in the fourth, he made 26 off the over, but there was still some effective bowling from the RCB side in terms of the people at the other end. Krunal got Sheikh Rashid to cut one to backward point, and then Sam Curran went out quickly because he sucks. Ayush and Jaddu pressed on. He did pump Shepard right back when he took the ball, so that was nice. They started playing more aggressively. RCB started finding edges. Lungi Ngidi, who actually bowled quite well in this game. Unfortunately, he dropped Ayush, but he redeemed himself. He took 2 and 2. He took Ayush, and he took Brevis first ball, which is huge. Actually, Brevis should have taken the review, though, because it was impacting outside leg. Kohli, bad drop on Jadeja, and then Dhoni went big, and then we had Yash Dayal into bowl the 20th, where he got Dhoni to redeem himself, unredeemed himself with a no ball 6. Of course, Yash Dayal, for those who don't remember, hit for 4 6s off the final over by Rinku Singh. Very famous for that, kind of the big thing he's known for. So he unredeemed himself with no ball 6, but then he re-redeemed himself and he held his nerve and he defended 4 off the final ball. RCB win by 2 runs, 211 for 5.
Important to note here, real quick, that Dhoni was 12 off 8 when he got dismissed, and he took the blame for that. He said that because given when he came into bat, the required run rate was 11.7.
Yep.
And he said, if I should have converted a couple more shots, easy. And if you're gonna send yourself ahead of Dubé, man, you gotta win the game for the team. It's not an excuse anymore that, oh, he's a legend, whatever. You are actively now. You're actively now becoming a problem.
Yep.
And everybody's noticing it.
Well, and also, if you're only gonna face 8 balls, have those 8 balls be at the end of the innings, and there's you have to play aggressively. You have to swing big. You have no choice. If you go out, who the hell cares? You were trying to do that.
Plus, Dubé's in the back, he's waiting.
Yeah. And he's better in the middle, sort of lower order anyway. That's his spot. He's effective there. I didn't get that at all. KKR. Let's talk about this.
Actually, you would think based on the 1-run victory from KKR, there's a lot to talk about. There's not a lot to talk about until the very last over.
Yeah.
It was a pretty fairly regulation game for KKR. KKR informed KKR, that is.
Yeah.
Rahane killed it. Gurbaz, was pretty streaky, but he killed it as well, 35-25. And then Rahane 30 off 24. Raghuvanshi, consistent as hell, 44 off 31. Russell, back to peak Russell form, 57 off 25.
Best innings of the season so far, I think.
It's so funny because it took him 8 or 9 balls to get going, but then he was just 6-4, 6-4, 6-4.
Yep.
And Rinku Singh came in and played a great knock of 19 off 6 towards the end.
Yep.
The bowling was pretty poor, which Rajasthan has really suffered from. I think giving Akash Madwal 3 overs when he was getting pumped was kind of a weird decision.
Not even the best. Akash Singh plays for LSG. Never mind.
Yep. And then they give Yudhvir the second over, and
he hasn't been super impressive.
He hasn't been impressive at all. Yeah, poor guy. And then in response, Rajasthan really didn't put up anything except for Aryaan. Aryaan was 95 off 45. He was trying. He pumped Moeen Ali.
Kunal Rathore opening, or maybe he was
came
number
one
3.
down.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I'm like, I don't know. You already have 2 top level wicket keepers. Well, I suppose Samson's out, but you already have Drew Drell. You don't need to bring in your backup wicket keeper. I don't know. I suppose they wanted to give him a game, but
probably
he didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything, and it was rough on him. But Moeen Ali, big news here, gets pumped for 5 6s and an over. That was rough on the poor guy. You hate to see it.
Well, he's pumped a few people for 6s in his life. I'm sure Mo will be fine.
Yeah, it won't, because he got 2 wickets in the game.
Yes, he did.
So
got Jaiswal.
He got Jaiswal. And he got, unfortunately,
Kunal Rathore.
Yeah. Riyan Parag would end up falling to Harshit Rana. And then, Shubham Dubé
and Jofra Archer
would just make
smash things around.
Would just increase Vaibhav's cortisol levels.
Jofra, that was ultimately effectively what happened. Although I will note Jofra Archer's being a man of the people with his unbranded bat. Love to see that.
I can't stand the
guy. But yeah, I don't know. It made things a little bit more interesting. It was a good run out on the final ball. And
Yeah.
Aurora did a very good job of covering his
Collecting,
wicket.
Yes.
Because,
Collecting and just like dislodging the stumps.
Yep. There
Not
was
easy to do under pressure.
Yeah, there was a certain other team who got Garrett cold on the final ball in a later match, which we will talk about. Because their bowler did not cover first, as it were. PBKS versus LSG, we kicked their ass. This was actually a relatively boring match, and it should have been even more boring than it was.
If not for Abdul Samad.
Hello. We love him. Honestly, that was really nice that he was the guy who made runs for LSG against us. If there's one guy I like to see make runs. And Ayush Mhatre had a great innings. I told you he kills PBKS. Glad to be proven right on that one. I will say with the Digvesh celebration, I did like when he got Prob out, because Prob had a massive innings. Instead of just checking him out of the notebook, he did he tried to check it out. And he was having a little issue, and then he finally checked him off. I thought that was a nice touch because he made a big innings.
He got Baloney out?
No, Digvesh got Prob out.
Oh,
Prob
Prob,
Simran.
sorry, what am I saying? Yeah.
And because he made a big innings, he kind of struggled to check him off, and then he finally. I thought that was a really nice touch.
I think I hate him.
Come on, man. Have some fun. You gotta give Digvesh credit. He's been adapting the celebration over the course of the season to make it better. I gotta give him credit. It was better than the first time.
It's like making the same episode of television over and over again, but with a different line in the 20th minute of the show.
So every procedural ever?
Yes. Which is why, how many episodes of procedurals have you watched in the last year?
I watched 2 episodes of The Pit to try and find Noemi in the background.
So 0. Because you weren't watching the show, you were watching.
I was watching
really
the background.
Mattered. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the real action happens.
Yes, exactly. Josh Inglis really impressed me as well.
Josh Inglis, and I want to give Josh Inglis some credit. I think he's a very, very, very good wicketkeeper. I think he is a better wicketkeeper than Prob is. Nothing against Prob's keeping. I just think that Inglis is pretty exceptional with the gloves.
Prob has improved in the keeping department as well.
But Inglis really seems to be a top keeper. He's been really good. He's got a great ear for edges, man. He hears shit that nobody else does.
I mean, that was crazy. I was surprised nobody heard that. It was a fat edge.
Yeah. But still, he hears it. He's taking all the balls. I've been really impressed. I've been most impressed with him with the gloves, but I've been very impressed with the improvement that he's had with the bat as well. And he seems so much more confident batting in India now than he did in his first match when a little bit of test batting going on there. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, great innings from Josh Inglis as
Thanks,
well. Dude. And, well, yeah, of course. Dude, one wicketkeeper does well. They all do well.
It's a win for all of us.
That's what brought you back on form. Because form is temporary, Aryaan, and class is permanent.
Since we last did the podcast, I scored another duck, by the way.
Yeah, but you also scored 100, so.
Which keeper scored 100?
You did.
Interesting.
In my heart.
Appreciate it.
Marcus Stoinis as well came in and smashed a few at the end, and Shashank hit one on the roof. Shashank is back on form. I love to see that because he had some struggles. He was tied with Nitish Kumar already for the Deepak innings of the season. We bowled pretty well. Omarzai bowled well. Arsh bowled really well, took 3 wickets. Vijay Kumar Vaishak did not bowl well, and I think it should be Kuldeep Sen next time. Vijay Kumar was very useful to us to beat GT, and I think he may have outlived his usefulness in the PBKS squad because he's not very accurate and he really only bowls one delivery well. And he got totally pumped by Badoni and Abdul Samad, which is, it's better than if it's Purin or Mitchell Marsh, but,
Or Punt.
I'm kind of falling in love with Trousers.
Yeah. I feel bad for him, man.
I do too.
It's a funny story about Rishabh Pant. According to Sanjeev Goenka, he mentioned that his whole scouting team and his selection team was like, oh yeah, it's pretty much a done deal. Pant is gonna go to CSK or RCB or Mumbai, and he was like, all right, well, how much is he gonna go for? And they were like, probably 20 to 24, and he was like, all right. And he had cemented in his mind that he was going to go for Punt no matter what. He was going to go for him.
Wow.
And he persisted and he got him for 27. And he was everybody was like, damn, this guy didn't really tell anybody. He didn't make a big deal of it. Went for Rishabh Pant. He was like, I will stop at nothing to get him. And he got him.
I mean, that was what Punter did with Shreyas, but I think he kind of got a little bit more out of the 26.75. He saved 25 lakhs, and he got a better player. Although I do have to give Travis a lot of credit. I think his captaincy is the only reason why Lucknow have won any games at all this season, honestly.
Bold statement.
I mean, yeah, the three batters have been really good, but I just think this team's aggressively mid. Anyway, PBKS won by 37 runs, bundled out LSG for 199 for 7. The last thing I want to say about this game is, did you happen to notice who Mr. Junca was seated next to at this game?
Was it Preeti Zinta?
It was not. But it
Then-
was somebody else who owns PBKS.
Is it Neswadia?
Yes!
Oh my god, yet another reason
The
hate.
two worst guys in the stadium sat right, and Ness Wadia, the PBKS Instagram page, put up this gigantic video gassing up Ness Wadia, and I was like, I swear to God, if we start losing matches, this motherfucker has to get the hell. Him and Gene was there too.
Oh.
And I was like, I
wait,
can't believe.
with Ness?
No, Gene was there with Preeti Zinta.
Oh, separately.
And I'll just say this, I don't think that Gene understood anything that was going on in the game.
Fair play.
Like, his wife has owned an IPL team for years and years and years, and I'm not convinced that this man understands cricket at all. And honestly, man, on our last episode, we were talking about the PZE. We've won a lot of matches with PZ in the audience this year.
Yeah.
So if there's any
I would-
negative E, it's coming from GG
And Ness.
and NW.
You know, I'd like to issue a formal apology to Preeti Zinta. Not because I was wrong, but because the PZE got nothing on the SYE. It's SIE, sorry.
The SIE.
The SIE. When you've got Shreyas on your team, doesn't matter who's in the audience, bro. He's going to pull out the dub.
I'm still. I think that Gene might have one or two extra tricks up his sleeve. Like there is a part of me that believes that Gene truly is a demon from hell. Gene, if you don't like it, fight me. I live in the same city as you. But anyway, there's a part of me that believes that Gene is a demon from hell, and his presence in the stands could really throw Shreyas off. But you know what? Shreyas has really had the Punjab Kings experience, capital P, capital K, capital E, so far this season, and he's come out the other side looking pretty good. Very happy with him. And Ness Wadia, if you fucking ruin it, I will never forgive you. And I will call your friend Sanjeev. I will mispronounce his last name forever because you made me mad. And you were friends with that loser. Anyway, let's talk about DC versus SRH for about 5 seconds because this was no result, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest, great captaincy from God. I think he really, he captained the hell out of this game.
Maybe Sonny N just
There
was sitting on his couch.
There
he
was
was
no
bored.
sunny end.
He wasn't at
It
the
was
game, but
rainy
maybe
N.
it was
Nice, right?
rainy N. But Delhi did get bundled out for 133 for 7, so their batting form is still shite, and so I hope that it will remain shite.
I
for a
do think, however, that these kinds of things do boost morale. Even when it rains out
It's
and you
true.
get bundled out, it boosts morale.
Well,
as a team.
KKR, you guys won your next match after the no result against us.
Yeah,
so.
because you feel good. You feel like, all right, things are like luck is in our favor. You
Yep.
know, let's capitalize, and then you go out with a renewed vigor. You
Yep.
know, and
One last match to cover. I want to talk about this quickly, except
All
for the
you.
last over, which I want to talk about in great detail.
all you.
MI versus GT, live from the Wangketty. Siraj gets Ryan Rickleton's second ball, and he almost got Will Jacks 2 balls later, which was unfortunate because Will Jacks ended up making 50. Pretty decently straightforward innings for MI. Surya Kumar Yadav made a bunch of runs as well. Yeah, Jacks made his 50, Sai Kishore and Rashid brought resting tragedy to the face of MI, taking down both set batters, Will Jacks and Surya Kumar, and Hardik Pandya for 3 runs, I think, in very quick succession. And Tilak and Namandir did not do much better. Really just some solid finishing from Corbin Bosch was what got them to 150. They were out for 155 for 8. Second innings was where things got spicy. And to our football fans, you are about to meet the 3 most impact players in all of cricket, Duckworth, Lewis, and Stern. Remember how I was talking about when the match becomes official at 5 overs? This happened in this match. So Trent Bolt did very well in the second over to get Sai Sudarshan. Nobody's been able to get Sai Sudarshan out cheaply so far this year. So well done to Trent Bolt for that.
Thanks.
You're welcome, Trent. You're welcome, Trent Bolt. Gill and Butler had to play a very conservative power play. They got to move on near the end, but they were underneath the DLS score target. So if match gets rained out now, GT loses at the end of the power play when it started to rain. So Mumbai decided to do some cheese tactics, and they took their 2.5-minute strategic timeout while it was pouring rain with the hope that the covers would come on. They did not come on. Gill and Butler pressed on slowly. Gill was dropped by Tilak Varma, but Ashwani Kumar got Butler to feather an edge to Ryan Rickleton next ball. Sherfane Rutherford came in and did Sherfane Rutherford things, which is smashing a bunch of balls out of the ground. Shubman Gill played very slow in this match. After 14 overs, GT are ahead of the par score. So if the match gets rained out now, they win. Rain returns. They gave it right back to MI. They took their 2.5-minute strategic timeout, and this time the covers did come on. So we had a rain delay. But jokes on GT, the rain delay ended, and it just turned into a really long strategic timeout, which means the same thing happens as always happens after strategic timeouts, which is a bunch of wickets fall, and both set batsmen were gone. Shubman Gill made, I believe, 43 off 45, which is not only the Deepak innings of the season, but I dare say he was named man of the match because of that, and I think that that is such an innings that it maybe should become the Shubman Gill Test Batting Award now, because this was, I don't know that Deepak could face 45 balls in an IPL innings. Period. Let alone win man of the match for doing so and scoring under 45 runs. But Shubman did it. So they were both out, Gill and Rutherford. Shahrukh was bowled by Bumrah very cheaply. Ashwani Kumar got Rashid Khan first ball LBW. And after 18 overs, the rain intensified, and they actually had to cut the 20th over. And so it was 1 over left at the end of the delay, and the delay ended at like 12:30 local time or something like that. There was a bunch of talk about, it has to end at 12:09, then 12:25, and then finally it started up at right about 12:25. GT needing 15 to win. Here's the over. Tewatia, 4. My thought, they're getting Tewatia, right? They're always getting Tewatia. I'm a PBKS fan. Everybody's always getting Tewatia. Single. Gerald Coetzee, 6. Actually, nah, they're getting Coetzee. 2 no ball. Deepak Chahar. The worst thing you could possibly do in this situation.
Yep.
2 no ball. It is so over. But a single off the free hit. We are so back? Question mark. Wicket.
But scores are level now.
Yes, scores are level now. So
one to
run.
win off 2 balls.
Yep.
Coetzee on strike.
Wicket of Coetzee. We are so back. And then Arshad came in as the new batter and hit a ball directly to mid-off and took the dumbest single I've ever seen in a cricket match. There was not a run in this.
But you got to run it.
He did get a run because Hardik missed the stumps and because nobody covered first base, which is to say nobody covered the bowler's end of the wicket, so nobody could collect Hardik missing the stumps and dislodge the bails themselves, like Vaibhav Arora. They fucking fucked it up, and he missed the stumps, and that was the match. And the funniest part of this was that Arshad Khan celebrated like he made a fucking 100, and he made 1 run off 1 ball. After the Deepak Chahar 2 no ball, I was just hitting the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme, like basically on repeat. I had it queued up, so as soon as the match ended, I was going to hit it, because no matter who won and who lost, it was always going to be Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It's crazy to me that that Shubman got the man of the match. Just saying.
For that Deepak innings. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But
I would have given it to Sherfane.
yeah, I would have given it to somebody who didn't play Test cricket. But you know, that's who got it. And that takes us through today.
Woo.
Through tomorrow. I believe
Tomorrow's the big one.
it's KKR, right?
KKR. I play the Chennai Super Kings.
That should be a dub.
Should be. But it's KKR.
I believe
Look,
it'll be a dub.
In all honesty, KKR is out of playoff contention.
I don't know if I believe you.
You don't have to believe me. It's just the facts. Because look, GT are 8-11, RCB are 8-11. If either one of those guys win even one in 3 games, we can't be top 2.
Yeah.
Then PBKS is 7-11.
But with a no result, although KKR
Exactly.
also has no result.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys win one more, am I right about that? If you guys win one more, if you guys win one more, then at best we can equal you. In 3
But
games.
I think you guys have a better net run rate than
Nope.
we do. Oh, really?
No, we don't.
Okay. Because
And then-
LSG sucks.
Yeah, and then Mumbai, if they win both their games, from now,
After that, I gotta tell you, Mumbai had their winning streak against garbage teams. I think
Yeah,
they
but-
might be
but
frauds.
I will say that the Deepak Chahar rookie mistake, they had it in the
And
bag.
he's not a rookie.
I mean, he's not like a legend.
It's true.
He's somewhere in between.
I mean, he's the older of the 2 cricketers from his own family that are currently in the IPL, I believe.
From his own family.
Rahul Chahar.
Are they from the same family?
They are brothers.
What are you talking about?
They're brothers, dude.
Dude, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I'm 98% sure those 2 dudes are brothers. Yep. Oh, no. Cousins. Sorry.
I
they're
knew
cousins.
I knew it!
They're technically still part of the same family.
We're all cousins.
We're
We're all best friends.
all one big
We're
family
all
in this
one big
world,
family in this
Aryaan.
world, yeah. What is it? 4 degrees of separation? 5 degrees? of
They
separation?
look very similar, too. Especially now that Rahul got rid of the cornrows. They look pretty similar.
Yeah, they do. They do actually. But yeah, 9.25 crore contract for Deepak Chahar, which I think he was overpaid for.
Better
But
at
again-
6 or 7.
But it's crazy
Probably.
because the year before that, CSK, he was retained for 14 crores.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Would never worth that.
3 years straight.
Well, CSK were winning, though.
What are you gonna do? But yeah, MI is at 7-12. So if they win both their next 2 games, they're clinched.
One of them is against us, and I don't think that they're winning.
Ooh.
They have several difficult games. Their last game is against RCB, and I believe their next game their
next?
last 2 games are us and RCB.
Delhi.
Us and Delhi? Sorry, you guys have RCB in the last game.
We have RCB in the last game, correct? So we're gonna lose to RCB. Wait, depends on where we play.
I don't
it.
know about that. RCB might have nothing to play for.
Well,
and
we're playing in the Chinnaswamy. We always beat them at Chinnaswamy.
There we go.
So we'll see. It's funny because they always beat us at Eden and we always beat them at Chinnaswamy. So RCB KKR.
and they already won at Eden.
Yeah, RCB KKR might go to us. SRH KKR might go to us.
Yep.
So at best, we're looking at KKR at 15 points.
I think
With a
KKR
great net
can
run
get to
rate.
17. I really
We can't
do.
get to 17.
I thought you have 3 matches left.
Oh yeah, we have 3 matches left. Oh, we could get to 17. What am I saying? So yeah, so we have 3 games left. One of which is CSK tomorrow. That should be okay. Look, we should have a 3
So
match.
remember when you were at the beginning of this when you were like, KKR are out of playoff contention?
I do still think that. I
think you guys are with a real shot.
Because you're forgetting Delhi is at 6-11 with 13
Delhi
points.
is in the worst form ever.
If they get 2 wins out of 3, they're in because they have a better net run rate as well.
Who are their other 2 other than us though?
They have Punjab, so yeah, as you said. Then they have Gujarat, that's rough, and then they have Mumbai. Yeah, these are
They're
rough
really
games.
winning 2 out of 3 out of those.
I mean, look, it's the IPL. You never know. But I look, Mumbai's just come off a loss. I don't know. PBKS is so strong, man. You can't.
I honestly, the most PBKS thing ever would be to beat DC and MI and lose to Rajasthan. That would be extreme PBKS behavior. That would be like peak PBKS right there.
But you still make it with that.
I know we do, but we could be easily top 2 if we win all 3 matches, and
You won't be top 2.
We're guaranteed top 2 if we win all 3 matches.
Yes. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Gujarat and RCB are at 16 points each in 11 games. How could you be guaranteed top 2 if they win all their games? Then you're not going to be top 2.
Do they play each other? Question mark.
Gujarat play. No, Gujarat. Do they play RCB? Yeah, you're not guaranteed top 2 if you win. But if Gujarat or RCB loses 1,
Yeah, it's very likely.
it's still 2, 4, 6. Yeah, then you're likely, and
Yeah.
then you win all 3.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna make it. top
Yeah.
2. So they need to win. They need to lose 1. Any one of them needs to lose 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I Yeah, there's just a part of me that's like the most likely game for us to lose is Rajasthan because it's fucking Rajasthan and they
Yeah.
always do it to us.
Plus, it's the last game of the season as well.
Yep. They love to play spoiler. Yep. That one it worries me. Anyway, I want to really fast. Do you have time?
Yep.
Really fast to talk about football.
Wait, let's first do predictions for IPL.
Do we want to do predictions?
Yeah,
Okay.
real quick. Let's do 8 predictions. I'm gonna go first. KKR CSK. It's gonna be the game that eliminates us from playoff contention. CSK. I'm going with CSK.
Okay, I'm going with KKR.
Okay. PBKS DC. I'm going PBKS.
I'm also going PBKS.
LSG versus RCB. I'm gonna go RCB.
I'm also going to go RCB.
SRH KKR. I'm gonna go KKR.
Also KKR.
PBKS MI. I'm going MI.
I'm going PBKS.
Beautiful. DC versus Gujarat.
Good job.
I'm gonna go Gujarat. Yeah, me too. CSK versus Rajasthan. Ooh.
I started typing in CSK. It's going to be CSK.
It's gonna be
for me.
Rajasthan.
Okay.
I don't think CSK has it in them to win, except against KKR. RCB versus SRH. RCB.
Yes.
And that is it. All the games we're calling for now.
Oh, yeah, until next week.
Yep.
Actually, one last thing just to throw on your radar, cricket-wise, for next week. I've come up with another award. So you know how they always do Player of the Year, right? It's about distinguishing yourself from your peers. I think that we should do our Player of the Year awards among people who have an even harder time distinguishing themselves from their peers because many of their peers have the same name as them. So what I think we should do is we should take the most common given name in the IPL and award Player of the Year to that given name.
Ah. Like an Akash Award.
Yes, except Akash is not the most common given name in the IPL this year.
Let me think.
Yes, I'm curious. I'll give you one hint on one of them, which is that I did this at like maybe 5 days ago, and when I first did it, there was only one name that had the most, and in the time since then, PBKS brought in a replacement player that brought another name tied with the first name in first.
PBKS brought him in.
Yes.
Is it Josh?
Our replacement for Glenn is surname is Owen.
Mitch?
Yes.
Oh, Mitchell Stark. Mitch Owens. Wait, that's it? No.
Mitchell Stark, Mitch Owen, Mitch Santner, and Mitch Marsh. There's 4 Mitches.
Mitch Marsh, yeah.
And then there's one other name
With 4?
with 4.
I know there are 2 Ayushes.
There's a lot of 2s. There's 2 Vaibhavs.
2 Vebos, 2 Ayushes. Damn, I actually have no idea. I give up.
Okay, I'll give you one last hint, which is one of the 4 puts his name second. Like, this name is second.
Is it Sai?
No. Although there are 2 Sais, but they both play for the same team.
Yeah. What?
Tripathi, Chahar,
Rahul. Rahul
KL,
Tripathi, KL Rahul.
and Tevatia.
Oh. That's fair. I feel like the KL Rahul is kind of unfair.
Yeah, but his first name is Rahul. That's his given name, is
Given name
Rahul.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I think
And he was supposed to be KL Rohan, but his dad confused Sonny G's son's name and thought it was Rahul and not Rohan. And so he's KL Rahul.
Wow. I'm floored.
Yes, let's talk about... So yeah, we will have to decide on our Rahul of the year and our Mitchell of the year
Beautiful.
when it's time.
I love it.
NFL offseason, I want to do, when we have time, I kind of want to do a full draft special because
Yes.
there were a lot of undrafted free agents and
Yeah.
interesting people. And because of the way that Joe Ortiz likes to do business, he likes to do business, folks, just like Trump.
Yeah.
The undrafted free agents are very important because it's where he likes to find value.
Just as much as the 9 draft picks.
That's
are
true.
important.
I will say one of our undrafted free agents is named Rocket Sanders, which fucks.
That's awesome.
So, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about our first 2 picks, though.
Omarion and Trey.
Yes. First up, Omarion Hampton from North
You know what
Carolina.
I like? Omarion? Aryaan?
Rhymes.
I
Perfect.
think me and my boy Jimmy, we just hit it off, you know.
Just hit it off all the time. This guy thrived in power run plays at UNC, and that's exactly what Greg Roman loves to run. He breaks runs inside, and he can break runs in outside zone as well. Greg Roman doesn't run a ton of outside zone, but it's certainly a good variation, play calling wise, considering how much he loves to run the ball up the middle. And pairing him with Najee Harris is going to be so nice because we just got that. And a lot of people, I will say, there were a lot of people who I don't think really understand what the Chargers are going for here, who said that, like, why would you draft Omarion Hampton when you have Najee Harris? What I have to say to that is that's exactly what they said about the Detroit Lions when they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs when they already had David Montgomery. And look at how that worked out for them. Really good at churning his legs while being tackled for extra yards. He's not an easy guy to tackle. And for what Greg Roman likes to do, that's so good because it's just going to wear defenses down that much more. He's not a fun guy to tackle in the open field at all. And despite the fact that he's such a good power runner, he's still got like really good hips, really good juke moves. He fakes guys out in the open field all the time. And once he gets ahead of steam, he needs multiple guys to bring him down. Like, it's just not easy. And in short yardage situations as well, he had 17 touchdowns. You give him the ball inside 5 yards, and he's just going to burrow his way in there. He's unstoppable in short yardage situations. And underrated part of his game, but absolutely amazing after the catch. He broke some big runs off of shovel passes and slip screens and stuff like that last year for UNC. It's not primarily how he's used, and it's not really a big part of the Chargers offense, but I like that he can do it.
I'm very excited about him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving where we're going.
Me too. Including...
I'm scared to say too much because, including...
our next pick.
Our next boy.
Trey Harris, wide receiver out of Ole Miss. Now, I have to stop myself from also talking about the other receiver who we took, Keandre Lambert-Smith out of Auburn, because he is a fascinating story in his own right. And I was watching bootleg football with Brett and EJ, which is kind of the football Jared Kimber for our cricket fans. They're my favorite, like, film analysis guys. And they said that they talked to somebody, I believe they said that they talked to somebody who said that they actually thought that Keandre Lambert-Smith was a better prospect than Trey Harris, which on tape, I don't know if I agree with that, but I definitely do see where they're coming from. But Trey Harris, really solid route runner, especially deep cross routes and hitch routes, which those hitch routes, those quick little hitches are going to be really useful in short yardage situations. And it also trying to, make quick gains via the pass if the run's getting stuffed up a little bit. He doesn't have elite speed, but as they say, he plays faster than he is. He's an elite separator. If you get him in one-on-one coverage, he's going to get that step. He's going to get ahead of his receiver. He's also strong after the catch, and he's not easy to tackle. So, good on screens, good on, short little passes. Like I said, those hitch routes. And the biggest thing I'll say about Trey Harris, and honestly, all of the pass catchers we drafted in this draft, unbelievable hands. All that stuff about drop passes, all that stuff that we've been talking about with Q, honestly, I feel like Q would feel kind of personally attacked with this draft class because all these guys have unbelievable hands. They're making, him and Keandre Lambert-Smith are both making spectacular catches in traffic and through really tiny windows too. And you know how much Herb, especially in like red zone situations, loves to like fit that ball into like that 6-inch window.
Yeah.
These guys are ready to be there and catch it. So that's really good. And a 61.5% contested catch rate. It's nuts. You can't leave him in single coverage, which is a problem because we also have Mike Williams, who you also can't leave in single coverage. Yep. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Trey Harris does this year.
I want to mention at Ole Miss, he set a school record with 4 receiving touchdowns in a single game, which is crazy to me. And also, in 2024 season, he got injured, so he was only able to play 8 games.
Yeah.
Still 1,030 receiving yards, which is insane to me. 128.8 receiving yards per game, which is the nation's highest. 4
touchdowns in the same game at a school, breaking the school record at a school where A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf were in the same receiving corps just a few years prior. Unbelievable.
He's got a 4.5-minute 40-yard dash.
That's,
to me, is
not outstanding. 4.5 is like okay.
Yeah.
But Keandre Lambert-Smith, 4.37. Certified burner. And we'll talk about him on the draft special, but Keandre Lambert-Smith's going to be fun. stick him on the outside as an X, against like a rookie corner or something like that. Just tell him hit that go route. He might blow the top off of people. I gotta say on tape, he looks like our little answer to Xavier Worthy. I gotta say, and he's
Go ahead.
Anyway, I was just gonna say he's a tough guy too. He's he makes those good catches in traffic, and he's not the biggest, but he can take a big hit and hold on to the ball.
Did you talk about Trey Harris in press coverage yet?
No.
I've heard some good things about him.
Well, that's good because we only had one dude who could beat man coverage last year, and that was Ladd McConkey.
Now we got two.
Now we got two, and we drafted Aronde Gadsden, who's kind of gigantic Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, we got a beefed up squad, dude.
We do, and we'll talk about it in more detail in the draft special.
In next week's episode,
when
we're gonna have someone else to discuss it with us.
Omarion Hampton. LOL, just kidding. Sorry.
Of course not him. He's gonna be there.
He's
but...
at OTAs. He's busy.
Yeah.
He's busy. But you know who isn't too busy to come talk to us?
Not yet.
Not yet, anyway. Honestly, and if he isn't too busy yet, I don't see how he's gonna get too busy. Is Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
So, for Aryaan Ori, Omarion Hampton, and everybody else associated with the NFL's 4077th team, my name is Nick Cates, and I'm saying, well...
I've got so much to say and so little time to say it. Great job, everybody. Who's got it better than us? Nobody!